Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. Just wanted to provide you guys with a super quick update on a trade that I just took. So first, before we even get into that, this was a trade that I just closed. I went super light. We actually caught it in our live trading session. I trade live every single morning. If you ever want to tune on in, we're running a huge sale, and to learn more about it, second link in the description down below. But during this live trading, we saw that SOUN, which has been a notorious pump and dump for the past few weeks, going from lows of $3 per share to highs of 25. Again, it shouldn't be much of a surprise on why we were heavily watching this to potentially short it. That being said, it became incredibly overbought within a short period of time. It was up over 10% at one moment today. And in today's live trading session, we made one thing very clear, is that it doesn't matter how much we want to short a stock. If we don't have confirmation, we got to respect that, right? If direction and price action does not support it, we got to make sure that we hold back and don't initiate a trade before all of our criteria is met. And that's exactly what we did. It became overbought, it began to show signs of consolidation, and just like we talk about in the LPP lesson library, then we got confirmation of this thing to actively sell off. When it actively began to sell off, then again, that's when we began to have some fun. My only problem today, I don't want to call it a problem, is that I didn't like how much it was pushing up and how close we were to previous all-time highs, that I thought that it did have the potential to continue to run up. Because remember, SOUN is a pump and dump. It's a momentum-based stock. Not fundamentals is what's driving the stock up. It's all hype, and hype can get factored in many different ways, and it's just a very risky variable to be trading against. And because of that, I was extremely mindful with my position. So when it did become overbought, I opened a very light position, and then overall direction became in my favor as we came back to retest previous support. Like I often do, I covered my short early. Now it's become so oversold that I'm actually entertaining the idea of going long on it. Now again, right now direction seems to be against me, so I'm gonna have to manage this position, but I wanted to share both sides with you guys. The short that I took when I covered, and then it was showing signs of a potential reversal, so then I decided to go long with a slight trade. The big one that I wanna talk about is this bad boy, MSTR. And just so you guys can see, I literally just opened it. It's a $155,000 short position on MSTR. Why would I short MSTR if it's green? Very simple. Bitcoin. Bitcoin gapped up and became incredibly overbought. Bitcoin has been notorious for becoming overbought and then retracing. MSTR is solely derived around Bitcoin's price action. So when Bitcoin pushes up, so does MSTR as of today. If Bitcoin retraces and begins to pull back, then so will MSTR, and that's essentially what I'm looking for with BTC. So once we do get confirmation of BTC to actively sell off, then that will only fuel the selling pressure even more on MSTR. The thing that I love about this already is we already have confirmation of a rejection. We already have confirmation of a reversal, and as you guys can see from this video alone, I'm currently up on my position of $1,600 as this thing actively begins to retrace. And I see it as a textbook setup. It's an overbought, super shitty company that literally has no underlying business. All this company does is it borrows money against its investors and buys Bitcoin. Again, if you're so bullish on an asset, why wouldn't you just buy the asset itself and not a company that trades at a multiple of the assets that it carries? That simple. Again, there's no debating that. It's an overhyped up, overvalued piece of crap company that will only be bullish, or that will only last and sustain itself during this bull run. As soon as the bear run begins to present itself, you better be ready for another FTX downfall, because I think this one's going to be even worse, because supposedly this market cap is currently nearly at $90 billion. FTX was only $32 billion. So imagine the type of selling pressure and uncertainty that might present itself if something like MSTR were to go under. Again, just food for thought. We can't always just think about the upside. We always have to take into consideration the downside. And the biggest thing that I love to hear from BTC bag holders or people that are hopeful is that, well, BTC is the future. It's the way that we're going to be able to use it for its function and its utility. This is the part that just baffles me, is that they say that, well, regular money, is affected by inflation. BTC is not. There's only 21 million or whatever Bitcoins. This part that just baffles me, because sure, the US dollar is affected by inflation. There's no question about that. Inflation is anywhere from 2% up to 9% at worst. Bitcoin's price fluctuates, 50 to 80% from its bull runs to its bear runs? So I don't know about you, I can't speak for you, but for me, I would rather not have my money fluctuate 50 to 80%. So again, these are very obvious things that no one likes to talk about because all the BTC bag holders and Reddit traders continue to hype up the stock for no apparent reason. Again, if it was so certain, there would be no debate on the utility behind it, but it's just very obvious that there's so much hype, and because of how quickly it rips up, it always ends up correcting itself, and it just makes it very easy to make money on the retracement. So from overbought levels to oversold levels, this thing offers about 18% of downside. I'm super excited to follow up. If it ends up making new highs, I'm gonna have to manage and mitigate my risk. Again, no trade is perfect, and if this thing does make new highs, then I'll have to cut my losses and close out my short on MSTR. But I thought that I would go live, show you guys a trade that I'm taking prior to it fully correcting itself and see if that actually ends up presenting itself. So again, I'm always here to talk about different opportunities that I'm choosing to take advantage of, not for you to copy, but simply for you to understand my why. Just like I did with MSTR and just like I did with SOUN. And there it goes, it's beginning to recover. So what I'll do here is I'm actually gonna reduce my position just a little bit as we're approaching EMA. And then once we get confirmation, I can always add more to it. Remember, I trade live every single morning with our LPP team. If you ever want to tune on in, it's the second link in the description down below. We're running a huge sale right now. So if you sign up tonight, you can watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know down in the comment section. Hope that earned your thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.